Hey everybody. In this video, I'm taking a look at the recently released PC version of Helldivers. This is a hardcore top-down twin-stick shooter with both single-player and co-op modes that originally was released on PlayStation platforms earlier in 2015 and has now finally come to the PC. The other interesting, noteworthy thing about this game is that it's actually developed by Arrowhead, the creators of Magicka. So if you're familiar with that game and some of the mechanical wrinkles of it, you're going to see a little bit of that DNA sprinkled here in this game. Um, so there is a mandatory tutorial for this game that you have to play through, which I actually highly recommend. I don't know if it's possible to skip it, but even if it is, I would say just stick it out and play through that first 20 minutes or so, because there are a lot of mechanics to this game that go above and beyond the traditional twin stick shooter that you're definitely going to want to familiarize yourself before you jump into the game proper. But because the tutorial is the first thing that happens whenever you play the game, I'm actually not going to show that here so I don't spoil it for you guys. I actually found it to be pretty useful and pretty entertaining, and if you decide to check out the game, that way you'll get to see it for the first time when you get in there yourselves. But what I am going to do is go ahead and jump into this saved game that I already have going and show you a little bit of what the meat of the game is actually like. So basically you have this hub world, or this spaceship that you are stationed on as a Helldiver, which is basically like this futuristic military soldier type person. And you can go around the spaceship and interact with various things. Over here we have an armory, which we can use to perform various upgrades on our character and our weapons and gear and such. And then over here on the other side, we got this encyclopedia that you can use to look up information about all the various systems in the game and the enemies and kind of the overall description of what's going on in the game world. So this is where you're going to find all your lore and all your backstory stuff and all your little tips and tricks on how to play the game and gain insight into some of the more complex gameplay mechanics and such. Now down here we have these very attentive guards who like to chat us up whenever they get the chance.
I miss Super Earth.
I miss Super Earth too. Anyway, so down here you have the multiplayer section where you can go into matchmaking and either jump into other people's public games or check out and see what your friends are up to, which I think is a very cool system that they have here that makes it really easy to get involved in a multiplayer situation very quickly if you want to do so. But for our purposes here today, I'm just going to focus on a couple of single player missions just to give you a sense of the general feel of the game and also allow me to control the situation a little better than I might be able to if I were, say, playing this with other people. So one thing you'll notice is that if I pull up the pause menu here with the start button, I, by the way, am using an Xbox One controller for this, as is my way when such an option presents itself in a game like this. We have the privacy settings set to friends. I'm actually going to change that to private right now, just so none of my friends decide to jump in here while I'm in the middle of recording this. You can also notice you can set voice chat settings and basically access all of the primary options you'd want to have access to. Now I have played a bit of multiplayer, and how that basically works is that everybody joins you on the ship here whenever they're in your party, and then you can all kind of run around and do what you need to do. But at some point you're going to want to actually go on a mission, as the game is basically broken into missions that you go out and play. And so you're going to come up here to this table and get this lovely little summation of what's been going on in the Galactic War since the last time you joined the game. So basically the premise of the game is that you are from Super Earth. And I can only assume that Super Earth is some sort of weird futuristic version of Earth as we know it. But unfortunately Super Earth has fallen on hard times, and it is currently being attacked by three different enemy factions. As you can see here, we have the uh, Illuminate homeworld, the Bug homeworld, and the Cyborg homeworld, all of which are simultaneously attacking Super Earth. And so what you can see here is that as I go to these different conflict zones that kind of represent the territory in between these three homeworlds and Super Earth, you can see right now we're actually doing really well against the bugs and have them pushed back pretty far, such that the combat zone is actually pretty close to their homeworld. And you can see we've sort of pushed back the Illuminates a bit, and we've got the Cyborgs kind of knocking on our doorstep. So what you can do is basically you can see how many people are actually playing the game uh, in each of these areas. You can see right now we've got a preponderance of players trying to kind of finish off the bugs. And we've also got a fair amount of people on the other two fronts. But it looks like we're a little weak on this front at the moment, so I'm going to jump in here and add my effort to what these guys are doing to keep this front line moving in the right direction. So once you select a zone, you actually get to select which planets you're going to do missions on. And the kind of cool thing about this is each planet has rewards associated with it. So you see these first two both will reward me with XP if I complete all the missions on them. And then there's a third planet which I have to be level 3 to actually access. But you can see there's actually a specific reward associated with completing that planet. But what I'm going to do here, just for the sake of example, is just go to the easiest one that's going to give us a little XP boost if we complete the missions associated with it. And how this usually works is you'll get a handful of missions that you need to do, and if you complete all of them, then you actually take that planet over and get that reward, and that contributes to the overall war effort being conducted by everybody who's currently playing the game. So you can see here we've got two missions. One is to retrieve a black box, and the other one is to activate a SAM site. So let's go ahead and retrieve the black box because I haven't done that before, so I'd be kind of curious to see what we need to do. So now our space ship has jumped to that system, and now we can go hop into one of these deployment pods. As you can see, there are 4 of these, which means if we had 3 other people with us, everybody could jump in and go on this mission together.
Hellport launch sequence initiated. Crew to stations. I repeat, crew to stations.
So one of the things you get to do whenever you're going on these missions is you actually get to select your drop site. Now, the closer you drop to the objective, the better chance you have of running into one of these patrols. So you see these red dots scattered about the map indicate enemy patrols. But you can see over here there's kind of a blind spot on the right side of this objective. So I'm thinking I can probably drop down here without too much risk, be relatively close to the objective, but also kind of away from the patrols. So let's see how that works out for us. And we're going to confirm that. And then here I also can select my loadout. You can carry a perk, a primary weapon, and what they call stratagems, which I'll explain a little bit once we actually get into the game. But these are basically call-ins that you can do. And for those of you who are familiar with Magicka, this is a lot like how the spell casting system worked in Magicka, where you would hit a button and then do combos on the D-pad to make various things happen. But that'll be a little easier to explain once we actually get onto the planet. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm this. Alright, so we have landed on the planet, and it doesn't appear as though there are any patrols immediately around us, so that's a good thing. A few things about this game that are kind of unique. Oh no! I lied, there are patrols. Alright, a few things about this game that are kind of unique. You have to manually reload your gun. There is friendly fire, including friendly fire for explosives. So if you throw an explosive too close to yourself, you will take damage and likely die. Oh no. Alright. So I'm going to call in one of these helper things here. Ooh, come here. Run away.
Stand by. Equipment on its way.
Reloading.
So what I've done is used one of those stratagems to call in a supply drop so that I can replenish my ammo. I think the other thing that I may do... Oh no. Why can't I reload? There we go. I think the other thing I may do while I'm here is to just try to secure this area a little bit. And call in a turret.
Deploying defensive assets.
Oop. So you can see there, that auto turret is now shooting at enemies for me so that I can reload my gun and feel a little bit safer. So you can see the power of these stratagems is that, you know, you drop them in at various locations and then that kind of secures that location for you. Now, we do need to go over here and do this objective, so let's see if we can make that happen. I'm going to pull up my map real quick and just make sure. Okay, we need to go up here. Make sure we're headed in the right direction. Okay, looks like this is what we need to recover. Not sure why I just switched to my pistol there. Run away! Run away! Alright, I need to make my way back over to this ammo station. Oh! So, the mistake I made there was I got in the way of my turret. And that, oh, I see. Okay, so we're carrying that objective, which is why we can't have our, I see. Gotcha. Okay. So what we need to do is figure out actually where we need to take this thing. Oops. Oops, whoops, 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 whoops. Actually, is there a way that I can drop this? Now that I have it? Okay, yeah, there we go. Uh-oh. Okay. So... I want to head over to where that other objective is as quickly as possible. You know what I may do is just put this thing down real quick. Oh boy, that's a bad place. Bad things are happening there. Let me see if I can get a few stratagems out here and get myself secured, and then we'll figure out what's actually going on here. Oh my goodness. Was not expecting that. Alright, let's reload.
Dropping equipment.
Toss that.
Out of ammo! Reloading!
Oh boy. We might be in trouble.
Reloading! Liberty for all! Reloading! Reloading! Reloading!
Okay. So it looks like we managed to secure this area. Just to be on the safe side though, let's get a turret down.
Defensive equipment inbound.
Reload!
Okay. Cool. So this should give us a minute to kind of catch our breath, right? We've got this thing over here. We got the turret kind of helping us. Let me see what our actual objective is here. Oop. Got caught looking at the map there. So we can self-revive, thankfully. How are we so off the beaten path here? There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull our... we can't do another supply drop. That's okay, though. I think I may call in this thing to give me a little more firepower to use. Go ahead and grab this gun, which has a much bigger clip. So apparently down here is where we need to go for the objective. Nope. It's over this way. Still getting a handle on reading this map. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I guess we need to pick this thing up again? And then take it somewhere? Yeah, I guess it's got to go down there. Unfortunately, when we're carrying this thing, we can't use our primary weapon, which is a bit of an issue. But I think if I understand this correctly, okay, that's what I needed to do. Cool. Okay, so took a little bit more effort there than it probably should have, but was kind of figuring things out. Now what we need to do that we've completed the objective is to find our extraction site. which is over there. Oh no, oh no, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Okay, so that was a bit unfortunate. Again, I got caught looking at the map, which is why it would be really helpful to have a friend playing this game, so that one of you could cover while the other one was checking the map and such. But we're going to get this done, no worries. In single player, you have several lives to work with to complete the mission, so we will definitely get this done. I forgot how long the reload on that gun was. Alright, let's try this again one more time. So the disadvantage to that big gun is whenever you go to reload it, you have to stop in place.
Reloading.
But it is pretty powerful, so I am going to pick it back up.
Reloading.
Alright, let's go ahead and head over to our pickup site, which is pretty much northwest of where we are. Hopefully we won't run into too many more baddies. Gotta keep going. Actually, this is probably a good spot to reload. Alright.
Freedom delivery.
The thing with this big gun is it takes a little time to actually aim. But it is highly effective, so there's that. So now we're going to do this little
Extraction confirmed.
puzzle.
Shuttle inbound. ETA T minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Now let's see if we have anything that's going to help us here.
Need more ammo. Reloading.
So now we just got to hold these guys off while we wait for our shuttle to come pick us up.
ETA T minus 1 minute.
Oh sure, buddy, take your time. I got nothing better to do. Let's get one of these turrets down
Defensive equipment inbound.
in case anything decides to get cute and attack us while we're waiting for the shuttle.
Reload.
Oh,
Hold out. T minus 30 seconds.
so now it gets all quiet. See, when I was trying to explain stuff or trying to do stuff or figure stuff out, I'd get my face gnawed off. But now I'm sitting here waiting for the bus, and it's all like, yeah, whatever. Everything's cool.
ETA T minus 15 seconds.
Yeah, buddy, I'm here. I'm ready. Let's do this.
ETA T minus 10 seconds.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that was 5 seconds ago, so that makes sense.
T minus 5 seconds.
Uh-huh. Yep. He's very vigilant
Shuttle
in
arriving.
reporting his ETA. So we go ahead and hop in here. And we out. Alright, so that was a little intense, especially trying to explain what I was doing as I was doing it, but I think you guys probably get the idea. So basically, it's a pretty hardcore experience. You know, a lot of enemies get thrown at you. There's a lot of stuff you have to kind of keep track of all at the same time. But that's kind of part of the appeal of the game, right? Like, it's very highly tactical. There's a lot of stuff to focus your attention on, and you get to use all these cool toys in the form of the stratagems to assist you. You know, so you can set up the turrets, you can set up ammo replenishment stations, and kind of do that stuff on the fly as you move around the battlefield. So as you can see, there's quite a few things going on here. So I think what I'm going to do is just jump in and do that other mission real quick. And this one I actually have done before, activating a SAM site, so I shouldn't be nearly as confused about how to do it as I was about that first one. But it is kind of cool to see that there are
Hellport
at
launch
least a
sequence
decent
initiated.
number of
Crew to
missions
stations.
that I've
I
seen so
repeat,
far.
crew to stations.
It's encouraging that even after having played several missions to kind of figure the game out and get used to it, I'm still coming across ones that I haven't seen before. And I'm sure as I get deeper into the game, the mission structure is only going to get more complex and more varied.
Mission commencing.
Alright, so what I think I'm going to do here is just queue up the turret right off the bat and kind of walk around with it, and then that way I can throw it as soon as I run into an enemy. Like here.
Defensive stratagem incoming.
Nice. Oh. One thing is, the sentry does not care if you're between it and its target. It just goes for it, which can be kind of rough. All right, let's activate this thing.
Say hello to democracy.
Okay, I think I need to activate the second stage of the sequence now. And again, this is just directions on the D-pad that I'm following. Alright, mission accomplished. Alright, time for us to get out of here. And it looks like our extraction point is down here to the left. Just gotta find that. And you know what? I'm gonna queue up another one of those turrets. Actually, I don't think I can while that other one's active. I'm gonna queue up a ammo station though, so we can drop that
Equipment on its way.
as we wait for the shuttle. So let's call this thing.
Extraction confirmed. Shuttle inbound. ETA T minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Alright, we got this.
Reloading.
Uh-oh.
Reloading.
This could be bad. Uh-oh.
Reloading.
T minus 1 minute.
Running low.
And that is why I called for the ammo box. So we can just pick that up and be good to go.
Reload.
Alright, I think we're pretty secure here.
ETA T minus 30 seconds. T minus 15 seconds. T minus 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
I'm sure if you were being attacked, you would really
Shuttle
appreciate
arriving.
those updates on his ETA, but it's a little bit funny whenever you're just kind of sitting here by yourself waiting for him. Alright, so as you can see, that went much more smoothly than the first one, but that just goes to show how being familiar with the type of mission and what exactly you have to do helps a lot. And also, just having encountered that black box mission for the first time, I was not used to the idea of having to pick something up and take it somewhere else as part of the mission, so that was why it took me a minute to figure out what was going on there. But, as you can see, success leads to great rewards. We have actually completed this planet, which means we get our XP bonus, and now we've contributed to the overall effort in this sector for our faction. Woohoo! Hot XP. Alright, so let's see if we got any research points. No, we did not. One thing I'm looking forward to is getting the next unlock for this main assault rifle, which is the extended magazine, which I think is going to help tremendously, but I need to get 2 more research points to do that. And how you get research points is you collect samples, which you find out in the world sometimes, and actually that can be a good reason to deploy further away from the objective. So you can actually go search the environment and look for samples, which give you free research points. As I said, though, the other way to get them is to just level up. So you don't necessarily have to go around scouring the maps for samples, but I'm thinking that it could actually end up being worth it, because the quicker you can get research points, the faster you can unlock all this stuff. So as you can see here, we got a variety of weapons, many of which are still locked because I'm just getting started in the game. We got a bunch of stratagems, again, and these are multi-tiered, so I could spend research points to make these various stratagems more effective. And also a few that are built in that we get no matter what, and several that we can unlock over time as we progress through the game. You can see there's just oodles of them. And then we have our perks, which we get the laser sight by default, but again, more that get unlocked over time. So you can see there's a pretty robust progression system here in this game. This is the sort of thing it's going to take you a while to get through all this stuff and get all the research points and do all the missions and unlock everything. And then even once you have everything unlocked, you're probably still going to get a lot of gameplay variety out of the various mission types, the fact that the maps are procedurally generated, the fact that you've got a war going on 3 different fronts, and the way that plays out might change from playthrough to playthrough. So I think there's quite a bit going on in this game, and I'm definitely going to be checking it out more thoroughly. But I wanted to get this video out because the game is actually officially releasing for PC on Tuesday, and I figured people would want to get a look at it and see whether or not it was something that they'd be interested in. But I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me for this video. If you have enjoyed it and you want to see more of this game on the channel in the future, please be sure to hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content from me in the future in general. And I will see you next time.